this is Mark Berry with lovekungfu.com, and this is a video response to Gadgetfreak. Great videos. I think you've got a great message, and I appreciate what you're up to. But I wanted to talk a little bit about some of your logic and some of your understanding behind the gay stereotypes. So first, I wanted to say that I'm a gay man, and I don't act gay all the time. I might have gay moments. I might, get more or less gay depending on who I'm with. I think that's human nature. But for the most part, when I am introduced to people, they don't go, "Oh yeah, that guy's gay." So, I don't think that's good or bad about me. I don't think that's reflective of very much of who I am. It's just a little piece of me. But I just wanted to put that out there and let you know who I am, and let you know that I'm on your side and I'm doing my part by posting my own videos and posting my own personality and who I am. I did want to say, though, that I am upset with your prejudice towards effeminacy or effeminate men. I think that I think we could line up all the traits that turn a man into a woman, and we could turn them all on and off. We could say, wears women's clothes, wears men's clothes, talks with a high voice, talks with a low voice. I could say, moves their hands around when they talk. I could say, is attracted to men. I could say all these different variables that basically move someone from being male to female or female to male. And it seems like, although you want the gay men to make more of a presence, you've got a certain prejudice against certain effeminate behaviors when men have them, right? You denounced, I think, What the Buck is a walking drag queen or something like that. But the point is that you have certain traits that you consider socially acceptable for gay men to have, and certain traits socially unacceptable. So you might want to look at that and look at what would have you be sexist in those manners. Because that's really all it is. And really, all of homophobia is basically sexism. If you look at it. Really, other than religious beliefs, what is the only difference between a gay man and a straight man? It's really the gender of their sexual preference, or the gender of their emotional commitment preferences. So if the only difference is gender, then that means that it's a sex difference, or a sex bias, or a sex prejudice. That's sexism. So, to want gay men to be out, to want gay men to represent themselves better, to want more rights for gay couples, and yet to disavow or distrust certain effeminate behaviors is a bit of a hypocrisy. And honestly, we should be accepting of all people of all sexual traits, be that sexual orientation or sexual identity or sexual effeminacy, or, I know plenty of effeminate straight guys that get a lot of crap from people. And in a lot of ways, people will stick up for a gay man and his rights, and then go and be really mean to an effeminate straight guy. So where's the fairness in that? I think that's completely biased and prejudiced and sexist as well. So that's pretty frustrating, and I just wanted to point that out. Also, learning starts with stereotypes. If you look at any minority group and the rights that they got over time, you'll see that the first exposures they got were with their stereotypes. If you look at women and women's rights, the first exposures they got were being a stereotypical woman, barefoot in the kitchen. That was the first exposure they got on TV. If you look at black rights and black history, the first exposure they got was very stereotypical, very cruel stereotypes. If you look at the Irish immigrants of the late 1800s, the first exposure that they got in the politics and in the press were these horrible stereotype drawings that drew them as, frog people or whatever. But my point is that people start their acceptance with stereotypes. That's how people start learning. From there, then we get to a point where we are today, where people start to want to move forward and expand on those stereotypes and see all the different kinds of people that represent that entire culture. And that's, I think, what you're really pointing to, and I think that's a really good point. That there are not just effeminate gay men. That there's actually all kinds of gay men with all kinds of personalities and cultural backgrounds and representing all walks of life. So I'm glad that you're pushing for that, and those stereotypes do serve a certain purpose in society. If we didn't have them, people would not be able to accept normal gay people. Because the stereotypes are how we can penetrate into those circle of friends that will never know a gay person. I mean, there are huge, probably 70 to 80% of the U.S. population that will live and die having never met a gay person in their life. And that's just how cultures work. You know, I will probably never meet somebody from Pygmy Africa or the Antarctic. There are huge cultures that I will never get exposed to, even though I'm a world traveler and I meet all kinds of people. So that's the purpose of stereotypes. You pointed to Chris Crocker, and I just wanted to say, you implied that he's at the top of searching for gay because he's a gay stereotype. And I'd like to assert that he's at the top of searching for gay because he's famous. And he's famous for the same reason that all these other people are famous on YouTube. They just represent a tiny little commercial of life or something interesting or weird to look at, right? So he is up at the top because he's famous, like the German kid that sang that techno song, or that kid in the garage with the lightsaber. All those people are famous not because they represent some stereotype, but because they're interesting of some sort. They're different. They're unique. That Chris Crocker is unique and gay, if anything, is a plus to our culture, a plus to the gay community. Because then people say, oh, look, somebody is unique and gay. Like, all unique people aren't straight. All people in the world aren't straight. They keep remembering, oh yeah, there's some gay people out there. And I know you see gay people everywhere all the time and in the media, and you watch it all, but that's because you're gay. Most straight people don't think about gay people most of the time. Or if they do, that's because they have some sort of issue and they're dealing with it. But most, rural America does not think about gay people ever, except when they're exposed to it by people like Chris Crocker. So in that sense, they make progress, and he's not at the top of all the YouTube lists because he's gay or a gay stereotype. He's at the top of the YouTube list because he's different. And that's what people liked. That's what I think people liked. So finally, I wanted to say we do believe in the same solution, which is more exposure. I think that the more normal or diverse gay people that post videos on YouTube, I think the more it will expose people. I think you're right. YouTube is a great opportunity for the gay community to expose more aspects of itself, more personalities within its breed, within its kind. I think that's the same applies to all minorities, be it Irish or black or women or any of 1,000 other minorities have an opportunity to expose more sides of themselves. So when we look at illegal immigrants, we don't all think of people that work on yard work, or when we see black teens in heavy dress clothes, we don't all just think about gangs. We think about the dancing and the diverse cultures that group of men has. When we look at, gosh, I could go on and on and on. There are 1,000 stereotypes, thousands and thousands of stereotypes that we all have. And what YouTube does do is allow us to open up to that and allows us to see that. But a part of that would be searching. What do you search for every day? So my recommendation to people, other than to have normal gay people post more videos and get more exposure, would be to also to search for more diverse keywords. Search for Eskimo hunting or that stick dance that they do in the African community, or that wall paratrooper dancing that they do, all that stuff. Just keep searching around and keep finding more diverse communities. I think that the United States, because it's so big and has so many set rules that go across the entire country, we tend to be very isolated. We've always been very isolated as a country. I think the secret to undoing that isolation and becoming more culturally diverse and thus more culturally intelligent is to go out there and search and admire all the other cultures out in society that we haven't had a time to admire yet. Thanks for your post, and everybody that wants to, feel free to visit me at lovekungfu.com for love life coaching. Thanks, and have a great day.